Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews. I'm your host, Matt Spease, and today we are looking at Psycho 4, The Beginning, released in 1990. Psycho 4 stars Anthony Perkins, Henry Thomas, Olivia Hussey, CCH Pounder, Warner Frost, Donna Mitchell, Thomas Schuster, and John Landis. Psycho 4 was directed by Mick Garris. Now, Psycho 4 ended up being the TV movie that they intended Psycho 2 to be. But it was a TV movie on Showtime. So it didn't have anything as far as censorship, so a lot of the violence that's in it is full on, just like it was on the movies. Most importantly, they brought back Joseph Stefano to write the screenplay for this one, which was the first time that Joseph Stefano had returned to the franchise since the original Alfred Hitchcock film. And he returned to write this one. Anthony Perkins returns for his final time as Norman Bates. And it's sad to see him in this because he, at the time of filming this, was diagnosed with HIV. And he basically knew that he didn't have long. And sure enough, 2 years after this film, in 1992, Anthony Perkins died. Sad that this was his last film as Norman Bates. But he went all in on his last portrayal. Even with the knowledge of what he found out while he was shooting this, he still played the character brilliantly in this film. It opens with Norman calling in to a radio DJ named Fran Ambrose, played by CCH Pounder. And he talks to her because she is doing a special show on Matricide with a guest, a Dr. Leo Richmond, who's talking about, played by Warren Frost, who is talking about his experiences with matricide as a doctor in those studies. Norman calls because he is conflicted. He has met a new woman, Connie, who he is married. But he's conflicted because he just found out that Connie is pregnant and is going to have his baby.
You said she deserved to die. How? What did she do that she should pay for it with her life?
She let herself get pregnant!
And he's calling because he's planning to kill Connie.
I thought I'd convinced her what a mistake it would be for us to have a child. Long before we got married, I said to her, no kids, Connie. I've killed damn near a dozen human beings. I may be well now, but I'm not cured. I'll never be cured.
While he's talking to them, we get these brilliant flashback scenes to when Norman was younger. Olivia Hussey plays Norma Bates in these scenes, and she is... You never think of Jess in Black Christmas when you're looking at her playing Norma Bates. She is a far cry from that innocent final girl in that film. I mean, she can go from being all sweet with her son, Norman, and at a funeral, no less, tickling him. And when he finally gives in and laughs,
I was too shocked to laugh. I mean, I was real ticklish, but this time I couldn't help it. I giggled out loud. Don't you have any respect for the dead?
and she just continues to do stuff like that to him throughout these flashbacks.
Will forget that you even have one of those things. Do you understand me, boy? There, that should help you forget it. See? Look at yourself, boy. Ha! Girl. Yes, girl.
No.
Mama's little girl.
I'm not a girl. No. No, Mother, please.
And by the end of that, you fully feel why Norman became how he became. Because of her. Because of her treatment of him. Also amazing in this film is the performance of Henry Thomas as young Norman Bates.
I was fine until I gave birth to you. You caused a lot of damage. I should have gotten rid of you the day I found out I was going to have you. Not one thing you've ever said or done has made all I've gone through with you worthwhile. Not one blessed thing. I should have killed you in my womb. You sure as hell tried to kill me getting out of it.
I mean, he literally feels like the perfect transition period from the point where we're meeting him here and the point when we met him in Psycho in 1960. Great portrayal here. John Landis, director in his own right, makes a bit of a extended cameo in this, playing CCH Pounder's boss.
My way or yours?
Goodbye, Doctor. Thank you for letting us plug your book.
I can't believe it. You're gonna let human beings get killed for the sake of ratings?
Look, ratings have nothing to do with it.
They do to me.
And he's serviceable in his role here, you know. But the annoying character in this is Warren Frost's Dr. Leo Richmond. He's meaning well with what he is, because he realizes that who's talking to Fran on the phone is Norman, and he's trying to get through to Norman, but his doctor mentality, he is nothing like the doctor that Robert Loggia was. So, in part 2. So, but Mick Garris directs this in a really good way. It is a really good prequel and sequel at the same time to the Psycho series.
Your mother's not here anymore. Your own words, remember? She can't tell you what to do now.
That's right. This time it'll be with my own hands. Mine alone. Just like the first time.
And this is a much better prequel than that travesty of a TV series with Bates Motel. I mean, Bates Motel had potential, but them not sticking with the time period that it should have been set in and making everything modern day phones, modern day cars, modern day clothing that they're wearing, when it should be set in like the 1950s in this. And this does that. This has everything set in that. And then the biggest travesty of Bates Motel was the whole last season in which we're going to redo the original Psycho movie, but we're going to recast Janet Leigh with Rihanna. And then give our own little twist on how that movie happened. by flipping the script and making Sam Loomis get killed in the shower instead of Marion Crane. And it's just, that series was nowhere near as good a prequel as this movie. This movie, I will give this one an 8.0 out of 10. It's not as good as my favorite, which is Psycho 2. It's not as good as the original Psycho. It's probably my third favorite. And my least favorite is probably Psycho 3. But none of these films in this series are really bad. Saying that Psycho 3 is the one that is my least favorite doesn't mean it's a bad movie. These movies are really good. Even the worst of the films is not a bad film. So, but what do you think? What do you think of Psycho 4, the beginning? Did you enjoy this movie? Do you agree with my review? Let me know in the comments down below. And as usual, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it really does help this channel out a lot. And the fours will continue for the next couple of days before we go into our real schedule starting next week. I did an update on a short detailing this, so check that out if you haven't already seen it, and I hope to see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.